okay? 5 reasons why the pre-launch, regardless of what you're selling, is going to help you do better overall in your launching campaign, okay? So these are 5 reasons why you need to fundamentally pre-sell your next product, service, membership, whatever it is, event, anything. And I believe, now this is the first time I did this, and I believe that every single launch I do thus far going forward now will be with a pre-launch, a big launch, and a post-launch. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So, okay. Alrighty, here we go. Number 1, okay? The number 1 reason why you must look at pre-launching and engaging into the power of pre-launching is that it creates buzz. Obviously, right? When you're pre-launching something, you're talking about it for a while. And in the case of Youpreneur.com, we've been talking about it on and off for about 6 weeks now, just very slightly dropping the odd tweet out there, dropping the odd hint here and there, every now and then, and that was creating buzz. And we were actually getting people, you know, we told everybody the launch was going to be September 1. We launched on September 1. But in that 2 or 3 days prior to September 1, as we rolled into the final part of the last week of August, we were getting a lot of people were contacting us. When's the launch? Come on, is it time already? Blah, 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 blah. So that's number 1, is that it creates buzz. Okay, it creates buzz. Number 2, and this was a big one for me, it validates your idea, regardless of what the idea is, regardless of what the product, the service, the event, the membership site, whatever it is that you're selling, regardless of what it is, it's validating the idea, because you're going to get feedback on the pre-launch, both before you actually do the pre-launch and then during the pre-launch as well. Couple of ideas, or rather a couple of examples. So I've been dropping, and a lot of you don't know this, but I've been dropping exact sentences and paragraphs from our landing page for Youpreneur.com in my Periscope broadcasts for the last 4 to 5 weeks or so. Why have I been doing that? I've been doing that because I've been validating the terminology that I'm going to be using on the page that will ultimately convert sales for me. And I can tell you something right now. Some of those sentences and those paragraphs have worked really, really well. Some of them I've seen lots of hearts and lots of comments and lots of affirmations, but some of them have fallen on deaf ears or flat faces. And so obviously we've gone in and we've changed some of that terminology as well. Up here for thinking, you see, down there for dancing. That's what it's all about. So that's the other reason why you pre-launch. You pre-launch because you want to validate the terminology that you're going to be using to actually make the sale. Okay, that was a huge game changer for me, because I'm 100% sure Youpreneur.com now, which is where our landing page is much, much stronger because of that validation. Okay, so if you're liking this content, by the way, everybody, just tap little Perry Buddy down at the bottom of the screen here. Tap him once, and please tap him again and share this on Periscope and Twitter. I'd love for you to do that right now, as I enjoy a little bit of Ethiopian fair trade. Okay, number 3 reason why you should look at potentially doing a pre-launch is that it allows you to work out the kinks. Now, we tested the Youpreneur community area over and over and over again before we launched it, but you never know exactly how it's going to work until you actually truly open up the floodgates, so to speak, and you get a whole bunch of people coming in all at once. And we did have a couple of issues. They weren't major issues, and I'm pretty sure that most of them, I would say, well, we had like 3 problems, I think, with the membership platform. But out of those 3 problems, I think only one of them was detectable by our members. We caught the other 2 before it turned into a problem. The other one we've actually fixed already as well. So it allows you to work out the kinks in your setup, in your launch, before you actually go ahead and do your big launch. Now remember, we're doing a pre-launch, a big launch, which is like your main list, your main launch, and then a post-launch as well. And I'll be talking about the post-launch strategy on Monday, so you guys can know exactly what we're doing there. And that really just revolves around creating scarcity. And I'll tell you about that on Monday, or 10 p.m. Eastern time Sunday night if you're in the United States. If you're not, 10 a.m. Philippines time if you're here in this part of the world. But bottom line is that's our schedule right there. So it allows us, that's the 3rd reason, it allows us to work out the kinks before we do our main launch, okay? Now, number 4 is to go ahead and it ultimately, what it does, and I just showed you the membership portal, what it does is it allows you to create early adopters. Now, Several of these you launch without telling your list. Yes, Holly, I'll go into that in a minute. So several of these, hang on, Ethan has just told me we've only had 3,000 hearts. We can do better than that. This is good stuff. Do you think that this content is good? Do you think this content is good? It's helpful? If so, type in the word yes in the comment section right now. Okay, so people are saying yes. So can you tap the screen a little bit more then, please? Let's get some more bloody hearts in here. I'm setting a heart target. 25,000, that's a heart target right there. Okay? 25,000 is a heart target, guys. You don't get anything in life for free, and the currency today is hearts. So just tap up the screen, all right? Okay, all right. So number 4 reason why you want to be pre-launching is because it allows you to create early adopters. And I cannot tell you the power of that. In the last 72 hours, we've had 90 plus people become members of Youpreneur.com. That's huge. You bring 90 people to your house and put them in your living room, the chances are, unless you're living with Tom Cruise in a great big mansion in the Hollywood Hills somewhere, you're not going to have a whole lot of room in your living room, right? So the fact is, those 90 people, I've seen a lot of them. A lot of them are in here right now, actually. Jeremy, I've seen. Joycener, I've seen in here. I'm telling you right now, they are talking about this on Facebook. They're talking about it on Twitter. They're probably not talking about it on Google Plus because it's basically a ghost town. But, and if you didn't know, TechCrunch just did an article. Google Plus is on its way out. There you go. Just letting you know. Marcus White is here. He's an early adopter. These guys are talking about being a member. Alan's here as well. Talking about being a member of Youpreneur, spreading the word. And that's exactly what it's all about. That's what a good community does. It spreads the word to get more good people into the community. Remember, nobody has a monopoly on good ideas. The more great people we surround ourselves with, the better. So that's the 4th reason why the pre-launch is so darn important. It's because it creates early adopters. And those early adopters, as Seth Godin would say, they'll be the ones that will be sneezing out that idea virus of what you're all about. If you're liking the content, guys, please go ahead and share down the bottom here with tapping Perry Buddy once and then tap again on share for Twitter and Periscope. So the 5th reason, the final reason why you want to consider doing a pre-launch next time round is because ultimately, whilst I was creating buzz, whilst I was validating ideas, whilst I was working out my kinks, whilst I was creating early adopters, what else was I doing? Let's see if anybody can guess. What else was I doing while doing all those things? Can anybody comment right now? And it's the big picture right here. What else was I doing in the course of my pre-launch? Making money. Marcus White. Well done. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what I was doing. That's exactly what I was doing. Selling, says Holly G. I love it. Holly's like, who's like, you were selling. You were selling is what you were doing. Promoting, says Jason. Drinking a scotch. I was doing that as well, Chris. You're right. On pre-launch night, you might remember Mrs. Quack ran down to the drinks cabinet and poured me a nice, what was it? What was it? Glenlivet or?
Glenfiddich.
Oh, Glenfiddich. Glenfiddich. Everybody.
Marcus,
Glenlivet, isn't it?
Oh, did you get my email?
Now Urs is taking over. She's taking over the Periscope. She says, tell Marcus, did he get my email? There's the customer service of Youpreneur. In effect, right there, everybody. Look at her, look. Sitting there with a little cup of coffee, doing her work. There she is, everybody. Oh, dear. So funny. Jerry says, mabuhay. Okay. All right. So, oh, dear. You guys are great. Marcus is actually smiling right now on the screen. Okay, so guys, let me do a quick recap, okay? I'm still recording this for YouTube. I love it. Number 1 reason why you should adopt a pre-launch strategy for your next big launch. It creates buzz, okay? Number 2, it validates your idea. Remember, use the terminology that you're going to be using in your emails and your landing pages when you're doing your pre-launch, because you can always tweak it for your main launch and your post-launches. Number 3, it allows you to work out the kinks before the masses turn up. Number 4, it creates early adopters who will then go ahead and adopt Seth Godin's approach of sneezing out that idea virus and telling the world about how great you are. And number 5, it allows you to make money in the process. How good is that? You're doing all those things which will only better your main and your post launches, but you're also making money at the same time. Now, if you watch this on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. If you like this kind of content, you want to be hopping over to duckerscope.com, and I would love to see you on my next Periscope broadcast. Until then, bye-bye.